Hello everyone, it's Silvia from Tarot. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to have a look at a number of decks that arrived into my collection recently, and some of them are from Kickstarters that I backed either late last year or this year. Then there's another deck that wasn't a Kickstarter, and there's also a stationery haul, in specific the much coveted Hobonichi weeks. Let's have a look. Okay, so the first deck that I'm going to show you today is the Tamara Tarot by Habetrot. So the creator, she's from Switzerland. She's the same creator that released the Habetrot Trauma Tarot, and this is another Kickstarter. It happened, I think, a few months ago. The good thing about the creator from the Habetrot and also now the Tamara is that she's always keeping everyone updated, at least on Instagram, and it's really beautiful to see her creations coming to life. I also really like the the nice card that she included. This is all her creation, apart from obviously the washi tape, I think. So this one actually arrived in July, but I was away, and so what happened was that when I arrived back home after our holidays, I found a bunch of parcels waiting for me, which is always really nice. And this is the really beautiful, look at that, I love tigers, you know, guys. This is really beautiful pouch that she's included, and I'm so very excited about this deck because I have seen it in somebody else's Instagram account. So the Tamara Tarot, that's really beautiful. I think this is the Magician card, 20th century artist. Oh, okay. I thought that the Tamara was just inspired by Tamara de Lempicka. Obviously, artist is plural, so I'm guessing there's going to be other influences as well. And I actually remember voting for these kind of backings. As I said, it's a very nice experience when the creator is always sharing what they're doing, the progress of their creation. It keeps us on the loop, but at the same time, it also gives us a sense of peace of mind because we see what's happening, we see the stage of the production, etc. Whereas there's a few experiences that are not that positive on Kickstarter, where you know, you just look at the campaign, there's no updates, there's absolutely no other social media platforms you can rely on to just check out what's happening. And in particular, I'm going through a not very pleasant experience with one Kickstarter deck. I keep on asking kindly for an update because I don't even know if they received my shipping payment, and there's absolutely no answer, and it's been over a month. And I can tell you, there's a lot of people already in my same situation. There's a lot of people already feeling not so positive about the deck. And that's a pity because we were all so enthusiastic when we backed it and we couldn't wait. And it's not a matter of you know, being receiving the deck immediately. We understand that there are delays sometimes, but we don't even, some of us haven't even received a receipt of a confirmation of the payment for the shipping. So I can let you imagine how nerve-wracking that is. It is what it is, and we're just gonna wait. So here it is. This is but this one was an excellent experience, really, really fantastic, and it took really like a couple of months to just from the moment in which the Kickstarter campaign ended and the moment in which the decks were sent out. So it was a really fantastic experience. So this is the guidebook, and as always, I think there's a bit of an introduction about the deck itself. So this one, and it does say so, and I think it was very clear during the campaign as well, this has been created by the creator, by the artist, but the artist has used AI for assisting in a few different, let's say, stages of the creation of the cards. It was very transparent since the beginning. Everything was declared, everything was shown very clearly. In Instagram, she was posting videos, so if you want to check it out, is the Instagram handle I think it's Habitat Traum Tarot, and so you can really check it out. And it's a collage deck, so let's have a look because I keep on talking. So the yes, the backs have been chosen by us. I actually voted for a different one, but I liked this one as well. That would have been my second choice. So it comes with, obviously, with an introductory card, and we got the full. I like that we've got the number 0 on the full card. There's a few decks that don't put the number on the full. So I also really like the cardstock. This one has been printed in Germany. I think it's a very luxurious kind of cardstock, but it's also matte, so it really photographs well. And you can also tell that it's kind of sturdy. It's one of those decks that is definitely being made to be used. Okay, so that was the Chariot card. I'm just going to show you the majors one by one, and then we're just going to go through a bit quicker throughout the minors, simply because I don't want this video to be super long. Look at the kitty cats here. And so there's a few decks that I'm going to show you today, plus, as I said at the beginning of the video, there's also a stationery haul, in particular the Hobonichi and other stuff that I bought. I think everyone is showing off their Hobonichi haul now. Okay, so we start with the Suit of Swords, which is pretty cool. Very steampunk kind of vibes in this 3 of Swords. 5 of Swords, 7 of Swords. I really love the vibes of this deck. It tells me about mystery. It seems to whisper something that you need to lean in order to understand. It's a very beautiful deck, I have to say. I know the cards because obviously I was following up on Instagram, as I said, but I also really like the way in which the meaning of the cards are expressed throughout the images. I love this Page of Wands. I always like it when a creator feels like the, let's say, the court cards of the Suit of Wands are related to the musical world, let's say. Even though I have to say, this is like a traditional Southern Italy kind of nonna. It's just really cool. And cups. See, I don't know if you know the artist Tamara Lempicka, you will see that these images are very much inspired by her creations. It is obviously something that, you know, it takes inspiration from local background, obviously, and something that, you know, it is exquisitely European, you know, origin, or, you know, or not. As you see, this dragon, for example, reminds me a lot of Chinese dragons. I like this 5 of coins. So there is, let's say, a lot to be said about these cards. I don't want to go into the merit of talking about AI. I've personally seen how much of the actual artist effort has gone into these cards. I believe that the creator was saying that for each and every card it took more than 100 clicks, let's say more than 100 times clicking on the mouse. Obviously it is digital art, and this is just one card for the backs. Really love it, really excited about seeing how to work with it. It feels different from the Habitat Traum Tarot. The Habitat Traum had a sort of a more shadowy kind of vibes. This one seems and feels more balanced, even though I have to say that because of the beige kind of color in the background, it also feels a bit earthy for me. What's the Suit of Pentacles? Let me just go back. Yes, the Suit of Pentacles or coins. It definitely feels earthy to me. It feels like there is this kind of balancing and grounding that comes out of the general vibes of the deck. But in any case, these are first impressions, so I'm always happy to keep my mind open and be aware that the more I work with the deck, the more I can change my mind, and I'm absolutely okay with that. So in no order, particular no order, there's another deck here. It's another Kickstarter, and this one I'm very excited about. because it's the Starborn Arcana Tarot by Omnito. And as I said on a Kickstarter, when I saw it, I was really excited because and this is the Instagram account. So it really looked like a, let me put it this way, a Zix Arcana Tarot inspired deck. Not that it has actually been inspired of Zix Arcana, but what it looks to me. And but with scenic minors. And I know that the Zix Arcana, its minors are mainly scenic, but there is one suit in particular, I think it's the suit of wands, that looks to me like it's rather lazy, and so that's the reason why I never really resonated with this deck to the point that I had to rehome it. And I think that now there's only a few copies in circulation in Sydney. The author is from New South Wales, and I know there's a couple of shops in Newtown, if you're from Sydney, that still stock it. Other than that, I think it's gone out of print. I think there's a few goodies here that came with the Kickstarter. So there's a certificate of appreciation with my name. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. And I really like the backs of this card as well. And then there's a few stickers, which I'm always very excited about because I do tend to use stickers in my journaling, in my notebook, in my diary, etc. So always very grateful. We don't, as backers, I know that there's a lot of us that put a lot of add-ons when they are available in a Kickstarter, but I generally don't, simply because all I'm interested in is the deck. But I want to know, because I'm always very curious, if you guys back a Kickstarter, do you always go for the add-ons? And I'm not talking about the guidebook. I always, if the guidebook is available as an add-on, I always include it. I always add it on. But I'm talking about tote bags, I'm talking about reading mags, I'm talking about pretty much anything. Stickers, planners, and stuff like that. And there's one very practical reason why I don't get a lot of add-ons, is simply because the weight will go up exponentially sometimes. And I have to be aware of the fact that most of the time the decks are shipped out of the US to Australia, so obviously the cost of shipping will go up also exponentially together with the weight. Loving this box, by the way, very sturdy, but also it's got this really silky feel to the touch. And so it's double wrapped, but there is a guidebook here. So I don't know, it's always the old age question. Do I look, when it's a first impression video, do I look at the guidebook first, or do I look at the cards first? Because sometimes the guidebook, obviously, if it's got thumbprints like this one, it will tell you, it will give away if the deck will have, you know, lazy pips or not. In this case, I know that they're all scenic simply because I backed a campaign, and as I said, I was actually paying attention to these kind of things, but in many cases I wouldn't know. In any case, this is really nice. Sometimes I don't have the eyesight to appreciate a black background with a light writing, light font, whether it's white or another light color. I have to say this is incredibly clear. I have absolutely no problem whatsoever in reading this. So we've got the upright meaning, we got the keywords, we got the reverse meaning with the keywords as well. Really happy with that. As I said, no problems at all. I'm just going to quickly check if there's any kind of spread that we can use. 12 cards, yeah, it seems like there is a spread here, the clock or horoscope. Yeah, I like that. And yeah, there's a few spreads that you can actually use, which is always appreciated. I mean, I only do complex spreads when they are specifically related to a deck, in the sense that they have been created by the creator of the deck, because I really like to see what the way in which they themselves work with the deck. Let's just give it a look here. So it looks like it's a really gorgeous electric blue kind of gilding. Look at this blue, isn't it magnificent? I really love it. I used to wear a lot of clothes with this color without realizing that I'm too pale to actually pull it off. But I really love this color. So obviously there's a card here that protects the full card, and it's just, you know, it's just a card of the backs. I think the backs are like this exactly. I struggle to see, but I think this is actually a very soft kind of linen finish on the top card. So, and also on this side, so let me just double check whether that's the case for the cards as well. Yes, definitely. So it's got a really soft kind of linen finish. If you have the yokai yochi, this is exactly the same feel of the yokai yochi. So a very soft linen finish, not a plasticky one. Not that I got anything against the plasticky linen finish, it's just a different thing. I have to say though, the yokai yochi is a lot thicker. This one is not a thick card. It's not a deal breaker for me because I actually feel like it's very sturdy material anyway. So I'm quite pleased with the cardstock on this one. And so like we've done for the Tamara Tarot, we're just gonna look at the major arcanas and then quickly flip through the minors. I love this Lover's card. The Chariot, obviously a deck that is called Starboard Arcana will give you cosmic and spacey kind of vibes, which I'm absolutely okay with. Also alien kind of vibes in a way, for sure. I'm pleased to say the cards, even though the gilding is amazing, and I have to say it's flawless, completely flawless, the cards don't stick one to the other, which is sometimes the case when it's, you know, cheap kind of gilding. This is, it feels, and it is, an extremely high quality production. It feels like a very luxurious kind of deck. Wow, look at the tower. Wow. Yeah, it feels like a very high-end product, and I'm very pleased with it. And the World card, which is on an eye. So this is an eye. I don't know if you can tell, but this is an eye. This is the eyelid. And within the eye, instead of having a pupil, we have the cosmos with all of the, what are these? Well, I don't know the technical term, because really astronomy is astrophysics. I never understood anything of that, but it's really beautiful. These twirly thingies, what are they called? And then we move on to the, oh, that's weird. So we got the Ace of Wands, which has got a really cute cat in there, by the way, love it. And then we start with the court cards. So the Queen, the King of Wands, the Queen, and the Knight. And you can probably tell even by the physiognomy of the court cards, of the characters on the court cards, the reason why I mentioned that it feels to me like this is a very Zix Arcana inspired deck. As I said, it doesn't mean that it has been inspired by the Zix Arcana, but that's what it feels to me. And so, and then we go back to the 10. So it starts with the Ace and then it goes backward from the court cards down, it feels like. And as you can see, it is, so it is fully scenic, and I'm very pleased with that. Yes, it is, and it's also RWS based, as you can see the symbology. So again, with the same, okay, so it's done on purpose, obviously. We start with the Ace, and then we go backwards from the court cards, so King, Queen of Cups, etc. Oh, I love this Page of Cups, it's really cute. And yeah, again, scenic, love this Eight of Cups. So obviously there is a theme to the card. So we've seen the fire in the suit of fire, so of Wands. Now we've seen water in the suit of Cups. And let's have a look, because obviously we're looking at the suit of Swords now, and the alchemical element will be air. I don't know about this Queen of Swords. There's a lot of red, and it feels like when I have to associate an element other than air to the Queen of Swords, to me it's more related to the heart, because the Queen of Swords has mastered also her emotions all together with her thoughts. But I don't necessarily see a fiery energy in the Queen of Swords. It's probably one of the few elements that I don't see present in the Queen of Swords. But in any case, it doesn't necessarily mean that red points to fire. As a matter of fact, I think that fire here was actually represented by yellow as a color. So we'll see. 10 of Swords, I'm okay with that because it doesn't necessarily point to a total defeat, which is something that I always appreciate in a 10 of Swords. I'm probably going to look at all of the cards of the suit of Swords because I really like it. It's my favorite suit. And the beautiful 6 of Swords. And the 5. The 5 of Swords seems to tell a story similar to the 7, although there is movement in the 7 of Swords. And there is not much movement in the 5, but in any case it's fine. Love this 4 of Swords. Don't love this 3 of Swords. Let's just move on. It's always the same problem. It's just a problem for me, but it is. Ace of Pentacles, yeah, so we got the green associated with the element of Earth and Pentacles. Really beautiful, gorgeous King of Pentacles and the Queen. My goodness, so beautiful. And Knight and Page. So it is an amazing deck, really beautiful. I love these cosmic vibes. I love the fact that it's also scenic, as I said at the beginning. And this will be my new Six Arcana. I don't know whether it would read the same way. I don't know whether it would have the same vibes, or even, I don't know if I feel like wanting to pair it up with the Oracle decks that I was pairing up with the Six Arcana, which was the Mystic Martians, and also the Aliens and Cowgirls. Or Cowgirls and Aliens Oracle. As a matter of fact, let's just give it a try. Let me just retrieve that Oracle deck. Okay, so I've taken out the Cowgirls and Aliens Oracle deck by Rockpool, and I've also taken out my Desert Illuminations Tarot first edition indie, which is confirmed to be coming out mass market but on the second edition, so it will look slightly different from this one. It will be borderless, I believe. And the reason why I've taken this out as well is because after rehoming the Six Arcana, I really love to pair the Cowgirl and Aliens with this deck, but now I want to see whether this one works, but I want to see them all together, so I'm really curious to see which one is giving me the best vibes. Probably still this one, simply because in this card we practically have the same kind of posture. The person is literally looking in the same direction and looking very similar. Although when, okay, I have this feeling when this one is called the Cowgirls and Aliens. Cowgirls, so humans, and aliens. So I have the feeling that when it comes to a card with an alien, like the Alien Queen in this case, it pairs better with the Starborn Arcana, but when it's a card that has a cowgirl, then it pairs better with the Desert Illuminations Tarot. So I wish that I had two Oracle decks, one with cowgirls and one with aliens. I could try the Mystic Alien Oracle, which is still by Rockpool, by the way. But I do believe that that kind of distinction is spot on, because it does feel like it pairs up really well whenever there's, you know, an alien looking like figure on the Oracle deck, but then when you have a cowgirl, then it feels like it belongs to the Desert Illumination Tarot. I could probably use them together. That actually gives me a really cool idea. What about if I use them together and, you know, use them this way, basically? So we've got the Highwayman, I am determined and I will keep trying. Yeah, absolutely, never give up. With the Nine of Pentacles, obviously we're seeing this windfall coming our way. We've just recently talked with my members about the Nine of Pentacles because it is the minor represented the Decan Virgo 2. And so this is a card that is still in motion. There is this kind of element of looking to this transactional element into looking over the shoulder towards the 10 of Pentacles, which represents more of a conclusion. But then we also have the 5 of Cups, because obviously, and with Zorro, which is really cool, because the sentiment here is I will keep trying, I am determined, and I will keep trying. So obviously when you keep trying, it means that you have lost something, you failed on something. So it comes from this situation in which there is this sense of failure, this sense of loss, and then, you know, keep on trying and finally achieving something. So it actually could work this way. I'm really interested to see if I work even more with these 3 together, what the vibes will be like. But for now, I have to say I actually really like them together. I mean, there's a similarity in the colors shared by the 3 of them. And as I said, obviously we see a lot of, because Desert Illumination Tarot has a lot of cards where you see cowboys or, you know, fitted with the cowboy attire, but you also see aliens. So I feel like we're in the same kind of atmosphere. The only thing that I'm missing is the cowboy element in the Starborn Arcana, but, you know, it was not meant to have a cowboy. So we've got aliens here, for example, and we got cowboy here. So we can still see how these 3 are part of the same universe. And when there's this sharing of the color palette, it works even better somehow. Really enjoying these 3 together. I'm having so much fun. And I have to say, this is the kind of vibes that I'm exactly looking for in the month of September, because it feels like it's the month that precedes Halloween and everyone is really excited about Halloween, but we feel like we're not allowed yet to actually, you know, display Halloween merchandise and pumpkins and stuff like that, but we still want to think about it, and this is probably the way to approach it, with these really whimsical but very deep at the same time kind of decks. I absolutely love the fact that the horse has a forehead eye, which has about intuition. So this one is the horsewoman. I will use my patience and compassion to overcome obstacles. So it feels like it's a very balanced kind of deck. It feels like it's a deck that tells us, yes, we've been through something. Yes, we can see the obstacles. We're not denying their existence, but at the same time, we also understand that we have to be patient, that things will eventually work out for the best. And so we have the empathy coming from the Page of Jugs, so the Page of Cups, Page of the Suit of Water. And at the same time, we have the resilience coming from the Queen of Swords. I'm loving these 3 together. Let me know in the comments below if you like this pairing. What do you think about the Starborn Arcana, and if you backed it? What do you use it with? What oracles or what tarot do you use it with? I'm very interested to know, and let's move on to the next deck. Okay, so the next deck is one of those decks that have taken some time, as a matter of fact, over a year to get delivered after I backed the Kickstarter campaign. I have to say though, there were a lot of updates and there were a lot of really practical reasons, namely delays, huge delays in the production, and then another delay, massive delay in the shipping. And then it arrived again when I was away, so obviously I couldn't see it until after I was back. And I understand it completely. Together with my husband, we actually started using Kickstarter probably, I want to say 20 years ago, I'm not entirely sure. And it wasn't for Tarot and Oracle. We started with photographic equipment and then really like technological gadgets, because we really like it and we like the idea sometimes. And so we've experienced a lot of delays. We know that these things happen. What we have learned throughout the couple of days, it's almost 20 years ago probably that we started backing things. What we have learned is that a good Kickstarter, let's say, campaign, it doesn't really show in the timing of arrival of delivery, yes, of course, that is one of the let's say criteria used in determining whether we've had a good experience or not. But it is the customer service, and by customer service I talk about how often they send the updates, specifically also if you put a comment on the campaign, if they get back to you or if they completely ignore you. And that is one of my pet peeves. Like, I really find it incredibly rude of creators, you know, campaign runners that ignore comments, asking questions, not comments like, hey, this is really fantastic. Yeah, of course, that's an appreciation, it's fine. But people literally asking, could you please confirm you received my payment? Because there was absolutely no confirmation. That is a pet peeve of mine. It's people's money. It doesn't take long, certainly doesn't take 3 weeks to check if someone's payment has been received or not, and it doesn't necessarily need a long answer. It just needs, yes, I did, or no, I didn't, let's work it out. That, honestly, when I see not just myself, but a lot of people actually saying, I don't even know if I paid, I don't even know. And I have to say, when I backed the Tarocchi Gialli, I had the same doubt. So I reached out, put a comment in one of the updates, and the creator answered immediately. It was like after 12 hours. So it was a peace of mind. It said, look, I received your payment. I'm all good. And it wasn't a poem. It didn't need to be. And it was my peace of mind because I was really fretting. I didn't know whether, when you back a lot of campaigns, sometimes a campaign will have you pay for shipping within the pledge and others don't. So obviously it's not a standard operating procedure. So you're left doubting sometimes that you actually pay for something or not. And they don't send you a reminder if you don't pay. So obviously I may have missed it. And I still think that for this deck in particular that I'm kind of saying I'm very concerned, I think I missed the payment, but I don't want to pay twice. And so that's why I reached out to the creator, but I haven't heard in a while. This is not the case. As I said, this is actually a campaign that had a couple of hiccups, but now it's here. And I'm very happy because this is actually a reprint, is it? Or let's say a final edition of a deck that is an oracle deck that was produced a few years ago, and now it was they changed name. I think it was called Oni Romantic Alchiringa or something like that, and I'm sorry, I'm probably mispronouncing it. And now it's called Viatorium Somniorum and Viatorium Somnis. So it's an oracle deck. It's a really cool deck. I really, really liked it. I wanted to reach out for an older edition, but could never find it. And then all of a sudden I heard that they were launching a Kickstarter campaign, so I just patiently waited for them to launch it. And here it is, as I said. So it's really nice paper, holographic paper. I really like it, and it comes with this. It looks like a pin. Yeah, it's a pin. It's a really cool pin, so I love that. Always appreciate that. And this one actually also came with a tote bag for no additional cost, so it was included in the pledge for the deck. And I really like it. It's very nice. It's a very nice print. I use tote bags for shopping of groceries all the time, so the more the better. And this is really nice. So it's always a pleasure to, but as I said, I was never like worried that it was going to be a ripoff, that they were not going to send anything. And I know that there's a lot of people that have been through that. In our case, it happened only once for us. So one Kickstarter campaign that was backed by my husband for something related to his job. It was a ruse. It was never fulfilled. I don't think he ever seen them. He forwarded complaints and, you know, with the credit card and everything. And I don't actually know what happened in the end, but these things happen. So this one, as we said, it's Viator Somniorum. I should have known because it's actually Latin, and it means conduit of dreams. which is very, very fascinating, very interesting. So let's have a look at this deck. And it's still wrapped, so I have to cut through. Okay, so here we go. Let me just zoom in. Sorry, I didn't zoom in the other decks. So this one is, it says it's an Oniromancy deck. Oniromancy is the art of studying the dreams, because an oniric state is a trance-like state of mind in between wakefulness and dream. And so it seems like there is this portal that is more likely than not to be open during this state, in which you can actually access the deeper meaning of the subconscious and why the subconscious is creating those kind of dreams for you. It is an extremely interesting and fascinating theory and discipline to a certain extent. I love the fact that the deck is based on this. So it's created by Stephanie Alia and illustrated by Daniela Effi. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. So it comes with a wraparound magnetic closure kind of box, which is always nice. And this is ancient Greek, and I should be able to read that, but I don't want to spend 3 hours in going letter by letter, so I'll check it out later. So it comes with a guidebook, of course, and we've got, we don't have the thumbprints, but that's fine because we got the cards. But it does come with a bit of an explanation about the cards themselves. They do come with a keyword, which is always very much appreciated for me. And I'm very excited about this. So I don't actually know if there are differences between this edition and the previous one. So at the bottom here it says your vision will become clear only when you can look into your own heart. Who looks outside dreams? Who looks inside awakes? Carl Jung. Yeah, fantastic. There's a lot of, I remember I was watching Criminal Minds. You will just forgive me for geeking out for a second about TV shows, but I was watching Criminal Minds, and there's an episode, if you know Criminal Minds, you will know the characters, but there is this, is a doctor, is a very young doctor, and he's called Spencer Reid, and at a certain point they're talking about Freud and the fact that psychoanalysis that has been debunked. And he, you know, I don't want to spoil the episode, but at the end, you know, he actually uses psychoanalysis, and someone retorts to him and goes, didn't you say that psychoanalysis is being debunked? And he says, well, Freud has been debunked, but Jung still has got his merit. And I absolutely loved it, because Jung is very important to me, to my practice as well, and to my study of psychology. And I'm not going to say what I think about Jung, but as it does have its merit. So I completely agreed with Dr. Spencer Reid. Toxic, recurring dream, loss, robbery. Wow, I love this. Look at the fear card. This is, oh my goodness. So it's reaching out into her heart. So this feels a lot like a incubus, and that was referring to the sense of being suffocated when your mind is awake but your body is not. There is a delay in the sending of the synapses, and so you feel like someone is actually sitting. It's a sense of sleep paralysis, and you feel like someone is sitting on your chest because it feels like you're suffocating. And there's a lot of cultures that actually recognize that as a possession. And I'm studying that because I'm studying Italian folk magic or witchcraft, which is actually a book by Rosin Serra, published by Rockbull. But I'm also studying the concept of Italian witchcraft and Northern Italian witchcraft, because Rosin Serra is actually focusing on the south of Italy. And so there's a lot of talk about, you know, the sleep paralysis and the interpretation of what it could possibly be. I love this because it's actually, let me just take it back. It's the pin, isn't it? Yes, it is. It's the same. Interested to see what it is. That's for the card that has the keyword hope, which is really cool. And yeah, be interesting to see. Let me just go quickly to the guidebook and double check what that means. So number 13, And Hope, a lit candle. Oh, okay, fair enough. It's a lit candle. It's the flame of a candle. Better horizons, positive and uplifting energy, especially in the midst of turmoil or loss. Feels like a star card. However, hope can be a dangerous thing. Negatively, this card can indicate passivity, such as wishing for something better while accepting an acceptable status quo. Taken this way, it is a call to action. Look deeply into the surrounding symbols. Absolutely, I completely agree. Of course, if you just sit on your hand, nothing's going to happen. You need to feel hope about something, but you also need to gather energy out of that, and and raise up to the occasion. The away, this feels to me like one of those usual dreams in which, well, I don't know if I'm the only one having out there, but I have these dreams in which I need to run for whatever reason, whether it's because someone is chasing me or I need to be in at a place, and I just cannot run, and I'm just so slow, and everything doesn't seem to be working, and sometimes I need to be calling someone and the numbers keep on moving and I just can't dial the number. That is so annoying and frustrating, and actually it's a source of anxiety for me. So I'm very interested to use this deck for not just for dream interpretation. There's actually a lot that can be said about using an oracle for dream interpretation. I used to use the lucid dreaming, lucid living oracle, but that was more focusing into a lucid dreaming, so a conscious dreaming, a conscious reaching out to the subconscious, whereas I literally want to see what my dreams mean. So dream interpretation, not necessarily lucid dreaming. Dancing with, this seems to be the mask of the Maneki Neko. So really love it. Inspiration, excitement, missed opportunities. See, that's that when you need to reach something in time and you're trying your best and you can't run. Health, world of dreams, absolutely. Movement, yeah, beautiful. Distraction with a lot, could be Kali. The colors are different though. Work, yeah, definitely. Prophecy, oh, that's nice. That's really beautiful. So we got something, a seedling, and then we got some, looks like waves, I'm guessing, and then we got a tree on fire. And obviously the eye in the hand. Death. Wow, that's very powerful. That's really powerful. Wow, it looks like it's this person taking away a plaster cast of her face and her body as well. So these are fragments of the plaster cast that they are removing. And there is actually a smile painted on the outside of the cast. It's almost as if it were saying that death is the way for us to reach out for and show our true self, and perhaps this true self is not smiling. But there is actually a tear that is coming out. Wow, really blown away by this card. Absolutely love it. And abstract. So there's 52 cards, as you can see, which is an excellent number. This is a really good quality deck. It's linen front and back, and it's gilded with this really light silver, almost holographic kind of gilding. So really excited about this deck. And the reason why I'm excited about this deck is because I think that it could be saving or salvaging a tarot deck that I recently purchased that I thought would have paired up really well with the Soul Mirror Oracle, but it actually does not for whatever reason. And I'm talking about the Nova Witch Tarot, which is this one here. And if you don't mind, I'm actually gonna try and do the pairing now just to see whether I was right. So I'm just quickly gonna shuffle both the decks. Alright, so here we go. There's a noticeable difference in the card sizes, but to be honest with you, it doesn't really bother me. And what I can say is that I'm already liking the pairing up with the color palette. I think that there's more of a resonance here than there is when I was trying pairing a Nova Witch with the Soul Mirror Oracle. I think this is more it, let's say. I'm very curious to see. I mean, it is, you know, not the same creator, not the same artist, not the same even kind of concept. And the Nova Witch is, as you can tell, Nova Witch, so there's this expression of witchcraft, that sense of you know, the occult that we don't necessarily see in the Viator Somniorum oracle. But I don't know, I think this is actually working. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below, because I was very disappointed when I got the Nova Witch Tarot. The illustrator is Anna Noves, and she's the same illustrator as the Soul Mirror Oracle, which is one of my favorite oracle decks, because I use it with this, the True Black and the Ephemera Tarot by Arthur Wang, for shadow work with the True Black and light work with the Ephemera Tarot, and it works like a charm. You can really do very deep readings with that, or, you know, personal growth work. But and I can recognize the style. So as I said, it's the same illustrator. I can definitely recognize the style, but it just didn't work with the Soul Mirror. It just didn't. And I didn't know whether it was because the Soul Mirror is borderless, whereas the Nova Witch has got borders. And now I can finally tell that that may actually be one of the reasons why it actually works really well with the fact that the Viator Somnioro has got a bit of a border there. It is a cream color one and not a white color one, but it doesn't really bother me. And I'm thinking, by looking at the cards, I'm thinking this one would pair up really nicely with the Avisomnia Tarot as well by Orla Bird. So there's a few decks that I want to try out with this, and that for me is a sign that I'm actually enjoying the deck, because otherwise I would not feel compelled to try it out in a pairing, for example. I would not feel compelled to read out of the guidebook if I wasn't already vibing with the deck. So this is definitely a triumph for me. I absolutely love these two together, and I think that this fact that I love these two so much together may have actually saved. I mean, look at this, my goodness. Healing between the Ten of Swords and the High Priestess, absolutely. You know, you need to heal with the power of the High Priestess after the, let's say, touching the rock bottom of the Ten of Swords. Absolutely stoked by these two together. Really, really love them. Again, please let me know in the comments below. But even this, look, there's also a lot of similarities between the way in which the characters are depicted. So we've got a synchronicity here between the Temperance card, which is definitely about synchronicity because of the movement of the water between the two cups, and the Queen of Cups, which is obviously talking about water and emotions as well. Loving this. I'm so excited. I'm really excited. I had a hunch that these two would have been really good together, but I wasn't necessarily sure, because you never know. And I was wrong before, so obviously. Oh, look at that rebirth between the Nine of Swords and the Nine of Cups. Of course, there is this sense of having reached a point in your life in which you need to take a step out of your comfort zone. This is no longer sustainable. The waking up at 2 a.m., 3 a.m. In anguish about something, it's just killing you slowly but surely. And so there is this sense of taking everything out of that, you know, and using those tears perhaps, so using the energy generated by your anxiety, use that for something positive, and then have this sense of almost completion in the sense of cups, in the suit of cups, in the suit of the art, that you know, brings a lot to the surface, and perhaps these emotions can actually be taken care of. They can be healed by bringing them to the surface. Really loving this movement between the Seven of Swords and the Ten of Cups. There is this sense of movement always in the Seven of Swords, not necessarily in this card in particular, but there's always this character. I don't know if you have in mind the image from the AWS. There is this character that is stealing swords and, you know, running away, but at the same time looking back and trying to make sure that no one is following them. There is a sense of transaction here, of movement. Sometimes we find ourselves in a situation in which we have to do something that is not necessarily conforming to our standards of morals and values, but we have to because we're forced by the circumstances. And so there is this sense of moving away from that towards the Ten of Cups, that, you know, it sees us as a active role in the community again, because the Seven of Swords gives you the idea that is someone exiled or someone that is not part of the community any longer. So I'm really loving the vibes that these two give me together and the possibility that they give me to talk about the meaning of the cards. So that's a win for me. And last but not least, this is not a Kickstarter deck. It is a deck, well, actually it was a Kickstarter, I believe. I think it was a Kickstarter, but I did not back it. I just got it secondhand from one of my members. And she, as always, she's one of the tarot bag ladies, and she sent me this really lovely bag that I believe actually goes with the tarot. So it's the Hardscape Tarot, which is a deck I've been pondering before buying it for quite a long time. Otherwise I would have bought the first edition or the second edition or the Kickstarter, whatever that was. And in the end, I just decided when I saw it, it was posted in one of the Facebook groups I'm part of, and it's just something in my heart clicked, and I felt like it was the right time to actually reach out for this deck. So the reason why I was hesitating is because it is a landscape deck, and that for many decks, in particular, even for example the Pastoral Tarot, which is absolutely gorgeous deck by, you know, illustrated by Lisa Hunt, which is one of my favorite illustrators, and yet I never really clicked the buy button on that deck simply because it is a landscape deck. I do not think that they're very practical as a tarot reader, also, and not just a tarot collector. I feel that for me it is very important to be able to feel like I want to read a deck with a deck, and that was not the case for the few landscape decks that I've got. In particular, there was one by Blue Angel. It was a horse-based oracle deck, and it was absolutely stunning, beautiful, gorgeous. My husband really loves horses. He used to own a horse many years ago. But what I can say about it is that I love the cards, but I didn't feel like I wanted to use it in a reading. Now, the reason why I did reach out for this one and I finally got it is because the images are actually so beautiful, so evocative, so dreamy for me that I don't actually mind the fact that I will probably not end up using it in a spread. So I will probably use it in 3 cards pool, which is easy because you can do something like this, as you can see, or, you know, any other way, maybe 1 card pool and journaling about it and meditating, etc. But I felt like it was time for me to actually reach out for this deck, which is really like so beautiful. I understand the name Heartscape because it does really target your heart. It's just that evocative, that dreamy, really absolutely stunning, I have to say. Love this Strength card with the tiger instead of a lion. Love this Hermit card. And the Wheel of Fortune, of course, and the Justice card. The Hangman is one of my favorite cards. This is a, so, okay, I need to explain, this is a lake, but it's not. It looks like it is almost a mirror, so that's why it looks like it could be a body of water where there's a person standing and there is this mirroring of what we can imagine being on top of the card, but obviously we don't see the top of the card, we just see the reflection on the mirror, or let's say the mirror-like lake. And the fact that I like this so much is that there is this sense of upside down, obviously because the buildings are upside down, so that is straight away connected to the position of the hangman or the hangman. But at the same time, we can also take that as a different pair of lenses. And that is my go-to keyword, you know, a different perspective. That is one of my go-to keyword for the hangman, and I really appreciate that. It's really beautiful. The desk card is a bit, let's say, simple in the sense that obviously it's just this tombstone, but there's this two figure that it looks like they're looking ahead, they're looking forward to move on. The Temperance card is just absolutely gorgeous. The Devil card is really, really beautiful. I love the Tower card because it is a lighthouse that has not been torn down, or at least not yet. And so we can imagine that it is one of those towers that has enough foundation to actually keep the whole building up. Really beautiful. The Star card, really, really beautiful as well. And then I'm sure you all know this because obviously it is also on the box, but this Moon card is just really sweet. At the same time, can I just say, also be creepy in the sense that obviously a hare or a rabbit this big, you know, it's something unpredictable, you never know, but at the same time it's easy to relate that to the moon. If you have the Yokai Yoshi Tarot, but also other decks like the Tarot Yokai, there's other decks that show you the moon as the face of a rabbit. So it is part of Japanese and Chinese tradition to be able to see the face of a rabbit or even the body of a rabbit on the different you know, aspects of the moon, the light sides and the darker sides. And so this is, to me, it's very relatable, and I really enjoy this. And obviously it had to be this big in order to be able to you know, look like it was on the moon. And then the Sun with the doggo, which I really love, and Judgment with this sheep with wings, which is really cute, and the World card. And then, as I said, look at the Two of Cups. It's probably one of my favorite Two of Cups. Absolutely love this because I really love foxes. It is traditionally seen to me and by many cultures as a shape-shifting animal. So I've got so many stories about foxes in my life. I like this Five of Cups as well because the cups are still upright. However, there are 3 cups here that have cracks on them. And so, you know, it brings about the sense of precariousness of a situation in which you don't know whether they are going to fall apart or not yet, but you're kind of thinking that they will. And so you're doing nothing to try and preserve them because you think it's they're too far gone. Loving this card. So I don't want to show you all the cards because otherwise, as I said, this video is going to be super long. And I'm pretty sure you all know this deck. This is the King of Cups, which is one of the cards that actually made me say yes to the deck because I really love whales of all kinds. And then we've got the Suit of Pentacles, really beautiful as well. I love this cat with the Nine of Pentacles. You know, they have obviously a really nice treat in front of them, but still their expression is not of complete fulfillment because they know that they need to share with someone else, and perhaps they don't have anyone to share it with. I have to say I really love the Suit of Swords because you guys know that it's one of my it's my favorite suit, and I love the fact that the Ace of Swords is symbolized by a pencil, but it's a pencil that seems like it's tied down, and you know, it looks like the person writing has some kind of difficulty writing, whether it's the first time that they learn how to write or because of these I don't know, this thread that is tying down the pencil. It's actually difficult to move it. But at the same time, I love the fact there is a butterfly which is pointing to wings, which is always pointing to air as an alchemical element. I really love this card. It's the beginning of the suit of the mind, and I really love the way in which they depicted that. Loving the fox again, and I always love winter, so when there's a winter scene and a fox, I'm always happy. Absolutely in love with this Four of Swords. And maybe it's just me, but there is this sense of time, because it almost looks like, and I could be completely wrong, but it almost looks like these two pencils are actually branching out. So it looks like they're actually, it's time has gone. It's been so long that this cat actually has taken a nap. There's, you know, the pencils are branching out. I find that really cute, actually. Loving this Six of Swords as well. And you know, and also this Nine of Swords is really fantastic, because generally speaking, I do see the element of the disheveled hair in the traditional RWS symbols, but I love the fact there is the sense of wind, of directionality. It's almost as if the bed were moving and the hair is still, you know, in moving like in this direction as well. Really enjoying this. I love the Page of Swords as a student. I know that it's more related to the Page of Pentacles, but this could be a person who is actually learning and studying, and they're all, you know, they have this thirst for knowledge, which is for me related to the archetype of the Page of Swords, which is the detective. The knights are very simple. There's always a horse, and the Queen of Swords is a white owl. Absolutely fantastic, love it, thank you. And the King of Swords as a unicorn, really beautiful. And then we're looking at the Suit of Wands, which is really beautiful as well. The Four of Wands representing the union of the family and the celebration with the two cats, loving it. And I also love the Seven of Wands, you know, standing up for yourself even though everyone else is against you. The Eight of Wands with Meteor Shower, really love it. And the Ten of Wands with all of these candles that have, they were alight just a second ago and now they're being extinguished. Really evocative. Absolutely in love with this deck. I think it's incredibly beautiful, and that was one of the reasons why I had no problems whatsoever reaching out and try and get this deck, because it is really magnificent. And now I wanted to show you my Hobonichi haul, because everyone is showing off their Hobonichi stuff this time of the year, so am I. I don't have a lot, but I do have a few things. One Hobonichi, a few non-Hobonichi. So this one is my Hobonichi Weeks, and it's a really beautiful one. It came with a couple of goodies here. This is the bag. This is by Hiroko Kuboda, and it is one of my favorite ones. I tend to stick to this creator or artist when it comes to Hobonichi stuff. There's many that I like among the artists that they use, but this one is definitely my favorite. And this is the Weeks. So the Weeks, I actually wanted to get a Weeks Mega, because I kind of need the space in the back here. But to be honest, when I saw that there was no, Kubota was not, let's say, one of the artists displayed for the Mega Weeks, then I just, you know, reverted immediately back to my favorite, which is the Weeks. I love it. It's fantastic. At the beginning, when I started using them, I thought there wasn't enough room. As you can see, it's very small window, but then there's a few here room for you to put notes, and that's what I use for my YouTube videos. I always write them here. I write whether it's a members only video, for which tier of the membership it is, or if it's subscribers, all subscribers. I write whether there's members readings, for example, which I do every other Saturday for members, and then I write the questions here. So whenever I look at this, I have them right there. I don't have to look for them. There's a number of things, and I love the fact that there's monthlies here, so I have an overview of all the videos that I'm posting, and I can see from a bird's eye view whether there's balance in the videos or not. Maybe there's too many holes at the beginning of the month and something like that, so I can actually move it around, and that's what I do when I plan my videos on YouTube. So really in love with this Hobonichi Weeks. I came with a couple of goods. This is the Japanese edition, so obviously I received the Japanese pamphlet, but this is the Mystery of Techo Mask, and I will obviously have to... Oh no, it's also in English as well. Well, there you go. Sorry about that. I actually didn't notice this. So Techo masks can be seen flying around the world. What kind of world awaits you? I really love it when there is this sense of adventure that comes with all of this, and there's QR codes, as you can see. I haven't scanned them yet, I don't know what they're about, but in any case, this is the world of Hobonichi. I think they're doing a fantastic job. They also sent me this, which is the same image as the front of the cover, and it looks like a tarot card, and I really like that. But there is a little bit of information about the artist. So Hiroko Kubota was born in 1971, is an illustrator. He used acrylic, gouache, etc. to draw landscapes, people and animals. So absolutely amazed by that. And this is a adhesive pocket that I always used, and I put it here most of the time, because if there's something that I have to put in there, then I know that it doesn't get lost. But one thing that I have to say, if you reach out for this one, it is now sold out by a few resellers. I don't know whether they're going to have new stock coming in. One thing though, this is very fragile. It feels very let's say fragile. It is very easy to scratch this surface, so I will definitely reach out for a cover, a transparent cover, because a clear cover, because I'm really worried about ruining this, because I will be using this. I will be taking it with me when I travel. This is what I end up doing, so I know that I can be careful now at home, but I cannot always make sure to be careful when I'm traveling. So this is the Hobonichi Wicks, and what I wanted to show you is I also splurged and bought the Midori. So this is the Midori MD Notebook Diary for 2025. This is basically this is dateless, let's put it this way. And it's got 1 page per day. It is a really beautiful one. It comes with this cream colored cover, which is very nice. This one here, obviously this one will come out. And just to show you, so there's a couple of stickers here that you can use if you really feel like you need the date, but not that many, so obviously I'll have to buy more. But just to show you the inside, so we got the months here, obviously the calendar, and then we got a bit of an overview, which is very similar to what we saw just then in the Hobonichi Weeks. So obviously this is the number of the month, so the 3rd month is March, and we got a bit of a calendar. It doesn't really tell you much, but that's all you need, I guess, you know, and I could use it the same way. And then you go into the actual main body of the notebook, diary, calendar, agenda, whatever you plan or whatever you want to call it. And as you will see, it only has here, for example, hour by hour, we've got lines, so you can actually write down if you have appointments with the dentist at 3 p.m. You can write it down here, for example, etc. And this is one by one, day by day, let's say. So you can write up to date here. I wanted this because for several reasons. This is a mainly, let's say mostly lay flat kind of notebook. I know the quality of the paper. I do use Midori for all of my planning for YouTube videos, so I write down the videos, how I build them up into a Midori notebook. It's an A6, so it's very easy to take with me whenever I go out. I've never used this. I was using last year the, what was it? I don't remember the name of it, but it was not Hobonichi, it was a different one that was very similar. Also a fountain pen friendly paper. That is extremely important for me because I almost exclusively use fountain pens. But in any case, so this one, I'll let you know in 6 months' time, or perhaps even more than that, how I find myself by using this. And then these are extremely cute stickers that I bought. And these are here, these are the cat stickers, cute cat stickers. So really love them. I've already started using them. They're absolutely gorgeous. You know, guys, I love cats, so there you go. And these are Dharma cat stickers. So we actually pair up the really good luck brought by the Dharma, which is actually a yokai, but it's a yokai that brings good luck. and they gave the Dharma really cute cat ears. So I absolutely love these ones. More cat stickers because I never have enough, and really love them because it's a black and white cat, like my cat. And then I got something that I could never find anywhere, and this is a, so you probably know what this is. Let me just zoom in a little bit. So this is, the brand is Pochito, I think, and these are stamps. These are let's say one finger pressing stamps or something like that. I don't know what the technical term for that is. And these are the stamps that you got in here. So you got a book, you got an agenda, let's say a planner, you got a fountain pen nib, you got a fountain pen ink bottle, then you got a clip, and then you got a scotch tape or a washi tape. So the brand looks like it's actually Kodomonokao. I have never used them simply because I've never found them anywhere, but I do see them. There's a lot of YouTubers, stationary YouTubers, phantom pens YouTubers that use these, because on their pages on any day you can, for example, you know, use the book and say what you're currently reading, or the planner to say your appointments for today. You can use the fountain pen to write down which fountain pen you're using, which ink you're using. This one could be reminders for the day, and the washi tape could be anything you want. So I'm really excited about using these. I don't even know 100% how to use them, in the sense that I don't know whether I will have to replenish or refill the stamp ink. Perhaps I will have to, I'm not entirely sure, but I'm very excited about this one. And then last but not least, I just wanted to say these ones are absolutely amazing. So if you're on the market for some traveler's notebook size booklets, notebooks and something like that, but you don't want to spend the usual $25 that they cost, at least in Australia. This is a Kakria, and it's a third part of an A4. These are let's say just slightly taller than a traveler's notebook, but they really fit into the leather container, let's say, or leather cover, and they're absolutely amazing. They're like $2. So I found these to be absolutely wonderful. It is the right size for me. They fit in really well. As I said, you can find it for you know, grids like that, and also I think this is completely blank, or not, maybe this one is like a, oh no, okay, so this one is like a schedule weekly. So really love the quality of these notebooks. I highly recommend it. They come in different, there's also dot grids, there's lines, there's blanks, so you can really choose which one you prefer. But I highly recommend it because they are very affordable, and they're also Japanese quality paper. So they're not 100%, let's say, fountain pen friendly, in the sense that if you have a big stain, it will go through, it will pass through, there will be a little bit of ghosting, but generally speaking you can write with your fountain pen without any kind of trouble. So that was it for today. That was a long video, sorry about that, but I really was excited about showing you all of these goodies. So don't forget to like and subscribe if you like this video, if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching, and for now, have a great day.